All right, let's get into today's cosmic weather. There is a very specific tension happening up in the stars, and you might already be feeling it. You know, that little push and pull between what your head is saying and what your heart is feeling. Let's break it down.
So, does this question hit home for you today? I mean, if you're feeling a bit scattered, like you're caught between a really logical argument on one side and this deep gut feeling on the other, well, you are tapping right into the core energy of the day. And trust me, it's not just a random mood, there's a real cosmic crosscurrent at play here.
So, where does all this start?
Well, the main driver, the whole tempo for our day, is being set by the moon as it moves through the super energetic sign of Gemini. You can think of this as the day's background music, and it's playing at a really fast pace.
You see, a Gemini moon cranks the volume way up on our mental activity. Your mind might feel like it's just racing, jumping from one thought to the next. Your curiosity is through the roof about pretty much everything, and your phone is probably buzzing off the hook with texts, emails, and social media notifications. It's a day that's really defined by a constant, nonstop flow of information coming in and going out. Okay, but here's where things get really interesting. That speedy, logical Gemini energy, it's not working alone. It's actually running right into a very different, much more intuitive force. This creates what astrologers call a square aspect. Just think of it like a sharp 90-degree angle between planets. It always creates some tension and conflict. And this is the central clash of the day. And right here, you can really see the two opposing teams. So on one side, you've got the Gemini moon, totally rational, super fast, and always asking questions. And on the other side, we have this heavy Pisces influence, intuitive, emotional, kind of dreamy, and honestly, with a tendency to get a little scattered. It is a classic showdown of logic versus feeling. And that Pisces energy is especially powerful right now. Why? Well, it's because of something called a stellium, which is really just a fancy word for a cluster of planets. In this case, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus are all hanging out together in Pisces. This little cosmic party dramatically amps up that emotional, intuitive side, which makes the clash with the Gemini mind feel even bigger.
So, what does this cosmic tug of war actually feel like for us down here on Earth? Well, it can show up as some very real, very practical hurdles in our day-to-day lives. Let's get into what you should probably be on the lookout for. You might notice a really sharp conflict between what you think you should do and what you feel is right. This is also prime time for misunderstandings because the logical words of Gemini can get all tangled up in the emotional waters of Pisces. You definitely want to be wary of gossip and misinformation flying around. And that feeling of being pulled in a dozen different directions? Yep, that's the signature of this energy, and it often leads to a kind of mental fog that makes decisions feel almost impossible.
Okay, so we get the challenge, but how in the world do we navigate it? You know, the key isn't to pick a side between your mind and your heart, but to find a way to get them to work together. And thankfully, there's a pretty clear three-step strategy we can all use to find our center. So the whole point here is to be deliberate. Step one, filter. With so much information flying around, do not react instantly. Just take a beat to sift through all the noise. Step two, question. That curious Gemini energy can actually be your friend here. Don't take things at face value. Apply a healthy dose of, is that really true? And finally, probably the most powerful tool of all, just wait. Sometimes the best move you can make is no move at all. Clarity will come, but you might just have to be patient. And this quote just brilliantly captures the entire challenge and goal for today, doesn't it? It's not about the mind winning or the heart winning. The real victory is in getting them to cooperate, to find that sweet spot in the middle. The person who can actually establish that internal balance, that's the one who's going to navigate this energy successfully. So as you go about your day, I'm just going to leave you with this question to think about. Amidst all the mental chatter and all the emotional currents, which voice are you going to listen to? Just remember, the goal isn't to pick one over the other, but to find the balance between them. Thanks for joining this explainer, and we'll see you next time.